Invasive plants are exotic plants that have been introduced into an area in which they do not naturally occur. Therefore, these plants have no natural enemies, are resistant to the local habitat conditions, and reproduce in huge quantities. The Old World climbing fern is considered to be the most threatening invasive plant species in South Florida. There are 28,000 spores per leaf on the Old World climbing fern, and these spores can germinate for up to 4 years after release. The fern can smother natural areas in just a few years. The Old World climbing fern is found on many residential properties, but residents don't know how harmful the fern can really be. This plant threatens the native vegetation and animals in Florida, and it is also an extreme fire hazard. For this reason, we decided to delve into the problem of ignorance of invasive plant species within the issue of biodiversity. Many people don't know about the Old World climbing fern, or they ignore it when they find it on their properties. Over a long period of time, this practice of ignorance could be disastrous for the environment because it could eliminate native plants and animals and cause uncontrollable fires that can spread over even water. We went about tackling this problem by holding several presentations aimed towards both residents of a locally infested neighborhood and to high school students at Suncoast High School. Both of these audiences can make a huge positive impact on the environment in the future if they are aware of the effect of invasive plant species. First, we distributed flyers by taping them on the mailboxes of residents of Calusa. Attracting residents was an obstacle we faced because Calusa is a very large neighborhood that does not have gatherings very often. Then, we planned and created our presentation. We made a large display on a signs board, and we also gathered flyers and brochures to hand out to the residents who attended. Lastly, we created pre- and post surveys to measure the impact of our project on the residents. Finally, on November 13th, we held our presentation at the community clubhouse. 4 residents of Calusa attended, and 3 interested students from Suncoast High School attended. After the first presentation, we felt as if we had not informed enough people of the importance of removing the Old World climbing fern. Therefore, we decided to tackle the lack of awareness of invasive plants by addressing a younger age group, teenagers in high school. We decided to present at a Key Club International meeting. Key Club is a community service-based club, so the members were very interested to learn about what they could do to prevent the spread of invasive plants. We successfully taught 24 high school students about the Old World climbing fern. This project is sustainable because the information we presented to both residents and the younger generation will stay with them for life. They will always understand the importance of removing invasive plants such as the Old World climbing fern. We collected 31 pre- and post surveys, and the results are shown below. The residents of Calusa and the students all described their knowledge of invasive plants and the Old World climbing fern as having increased throughout the presentation. The number of correct responses to questions 3, 4, and 5 all increased after the presentation. The presentation successfully taught members of the community about how to identify the Old World climbing fern and how and why it should be removed. What can you do to help? Well, whenever you see the Old World climbing fern on your property, you should remove it by cutting it off at waist height and then spraying the roots with herbicides. Do not buy exotic plants for aesthetic reasons. You never know what kind of impact they have on South Florida's native environment. Buy native plants. Inform others about the disastrous impact that invasive exotic plants such as the Old World climbing fern can have on the environment.